In this video, we're going to create a composition of images using a module that already exists in the UI Objects section. So we're going to do this with this module. I'm just going to change tabs. So as you can see, this composition of images is more organic. The images are not aligned and there are images that overlap. For this example, all we need to use is one module and one panel, the positioning panel. And we will use one type of positioning, relative positioning. So we need to focus on the fact that this image is underneath this image here, and this image is positioned more to the left. So now I'm going to continue to the app. I'm going to come out of preview mode. Now I'm going to start demonstrating this example. To do this, I'm going to come here to UI Objects, to Modules, and I'm going to add a module to the layout. In this case, I'm going to use a module that I've used a lot in other videos. I'm going to come here to Cards, and I'm going to select the last module in the Cards. All I have to do is place it in the layout. Now to get started, I'm going to select this element here on the right hand side called Right Side. I'm going to come here to the View panel and select Arrange. Here in Positioning, I'm going to alter its position to relative. This way, I can move the element across the various axes. I'm going to change the X index value to 0, and I'm going to change the right value to 4 rems, and the top value to 5 rems. I want this image to be a bit lower. I also don't want this overlay here, so I'm going to select this image here. I'm going to change the Z index value to 5. Okay, so now we have made these images overlap. I'm going to add 3 rems to the left value and 3 to the bottom value. We can't see the image completely now. I'll explain and fix this in a little bit. Now I'm going to click here and I'm going to add 7 rems to the right value. Okay, now we also can't see this image completely. So why is this happening? This is happening because there is a type of security measure built within our flex layouts. The flex layouts are built with elements that naturally spill out of its structure. These elements are flex items and the flex item. You can see this when adding a background or background image to this layout. In this case, we don't need to add any background to these elements. So we're going to select our flex layout. We can come here to the View panel, and here in Advanced, we're going to enable this option called Overflow Hidden that hides any elements outside of the structure. So now we can see this image fully, as well as this one and this one. So now I'm going to enter preview mode, and as you can see, we have created this irregular alignment. And now we can maybe think about editing some of these structures' spacings to make sure they're not too on top of each other. So as you can see here, these two structures are almost touching. So I'm going to exit the preview mode and see how this can be fixed. I'm going to select the flex layout and then come here to sizing and spacing. And in this case, I'm going to edit the padding value of this distance here. I'm going to add 4 rems. Okay, and as you can see, we now have a bit more space between both of these structures. We can also edit the padding value down here, lowering the image by 4 rems. Okay, and now we can be sure that these elements won't overlap. As you can see, it's really easy and quick to create compositions like this one.